Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NyanCave. My name is Tom. This guy is Play. That guy is Nyandroid.
Hello.
And today we are playing some Apollo Justice, because we need some justice in this world. And who better to do it than an ace first-time attorney, defense attorney. So why don't we get into it before I had to run away to an audition in about a half an hour. A little more.
Wee.
Yeah. So if you want more Ace Attorney action, make sure to tune in on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays at 12:30. All right. Let's continue from save point. Yeah.
Oh, I also want to give a huge shout out to someone who commented on our stream.
Oh, nice.
Hold on, let me find you, my friend. You can read that. I gotta find their little face. Where are you?
That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim there was another person at the scene of the crime like that, it's really your MO by this point.
I know.
You've done it on multiple occasions. It's not okay. I must ask, is it the truth? Well now, I think you would know the answer to that.
He's so fancy.
Being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I have no time for mysteries. I'd only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Kristoff. Justice?
Yes, sir.
The judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without me.
Okay, so while we have this little interlude.
Yeah.
Bumblebee!
Yo, Bumblebee!
My boy said that my accent was good. What?
Oh,
Thank you.
nice. I'm glad that he could lie like that.
I know,
Right to your face. It's so nice of him.
But yeah, I love tattoo. I listened to a bunch of tattoo when I was ages 15 to 17 to yesterday to now.
Yeah.
Because I just love some tattoo. Bumblebee. Thank you. Okay, we can
What
go
is
on.
tattoo?
Man, I'm gonna pull up a good comment about me every stream. Be like, hold on, wait.
Hold on.
Oh,
everyone shut up.
I already
Somebody
have
says
one.
something.
Slaying says, man, Clay is really rocking those glasses.
Thanks.
There you go. But yeah, I just
Well, now everyone shut up. Where's mine?
yeah, it's Paul.
Yeah.
I was just
God
scrolling
damn
through
it.
and that was the one but yeah, we can go on now.
Oh, okay.
You did well, Apollo.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
The locket you wear. Is that really yours, Mr. Wright?
You're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket. Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there. Let's go! Let's go!
Do you think it's pearls?
Oh god, that'd be funny.
Oh!
Oh, wow, what a cutie.
Okay.
I'm really glad that she classed into Red Mage to keep her options
Yeah,
open.
definitely.
Yeah.
I'm
It's a really flexible job.
surprised to hear you have a daughter.
Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days.
One more
Oh,
question.
does that mean she's in law?
Maybe. The one who cheated that night. Was it you?
No, papa. What do you think?
Huh?
You know what happened 7 years ago. What I did.
Ooh, what did you do?
It's not unreasonable for you to think that I might cheat.
I never, honest, but it is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years.
Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker.
Oh my god. Could you imagine him at the poker table? Because he's always like just a metaphor for his entire career, being dealt shitty clients and shitty hands, and he's just winning every time. Would I bluff? Objection!
No. I call. Objection! You're not allowed to. Yeah.
No, you.
You fold. Overruled.
Whoa, Mr. Wright.
Sustained. Sustained.
Kangaroo court. Eh? You see, poker's all about reading your opponent. In that way, it's a lot like a court case.
Poker is like trial law?
Figure out what your opponent is thinking, and you win.
Well, yeah, but that's harder than it sounds.
I think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information.
You're kidding.
In this universe where everyone has the biggest reactions in the world, I imagine it's not that hard.
What?
Wait,
How could you say that?
You're telling me that Miss O'Reilly was guilty when she flew herself back and threw a plate of borscht into the air?
Okay, since I used her sprite on the thumbnail, I found out it's not borscht. It's a lobster.
Oh.
She's probably not even really Russian.
Oh my
man.
God.
See,
duh.
I thought I saw something that wasn't
I know.
borscht coming down
I
inside
know,
that
I know.
pot. I
That's
really,
so
like, I was
bad.
watching, I'm like, wait, that doesn't look like soup. It looks like a,
This
what was
bitch.
that? Lobster. Rock lobster.
That witness, for instance, Miss O'Reilly. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice?
No. Come on, who noticed that?
Words, habits, twitches. It's all information for the reading. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you.
But I'm not worthy. I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals.
That's a word. No, you can do it.
Huh?
You just don't know it yet,
What's he talking about?
but you will soon. Ah, almost forgot one more thing about this case. You should know, I haven't told the truth to anyone yet.
What? I knew it.
I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power.
My, power? I had no idea my cords of steel were that special.
It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best.
Okay.
Man, I like this,
Oh, we were right there.
Damn. I like this, like 7 years in the future, like what happened kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
What happened in the future? It's a good way to kind of extend a series, I think. Or continue it on to have, the same characters involved, but passing on the torch to new characters.
April 20th.
It's kind of cool.
It is. I like it too. I like it. April 20th, 12:14 p.m.
Oh my
District
God.
Court, courtroom number 2.
I'm okay. Court will now reconvene. Has our witness, Miss Olga, really recovered?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, she's regained consciousness.
Perhaps we can hear her version of the events again.
Oh no.
That's the thing. You see, she's quite fatigued.
You're looking a bit fatigued yourself, Mr. Payne.
No, you.
Sadly, fatigue is insufficient grounds for refusing to testify or prosecute. The defense would like to request that Miss O'Reilly take the stand.
Damn it.
Oh, well, the witness will take the stand.
Oh.
Perhaps you could repeat your name and profession. Or perhaps you'd rather admit that you're a poor liar and a poor loser!
Helena Louise.
Creating a compilation of every NyanCave opening, and it gives me the discomfort not hearing, I'm Tom, this guy's Clay, and that guy's Nyandroid. Though it's funny to see everyone before they were a mod/member for some people.
That's so funny, Helen.
I don't want to watch that.
I do.
I don't.
Yeah, I do though. So thank you for doing that for
Well, not
me.
All of us are masochists.
Yes. Not all of us, but some of us are. Step on me, Helen.
Oh my.
Oh, that's weird.
Not.
Oh, she's a pirate!
She isn't a real Russian.
Oh, that we knew it. And a lobster comes from the sea because pirates love the sea.
It makes
Word.
sense.
They say it all
I
the
can't
time.
believe she's not a real Russian.
I can't believe it's not Russian.
I'm into it now.
You really sounded like it. I'm into it.
I'm
Just
into it.
Arnold level. I'm into it.
I'm into it.
Get to my bedroom.
Oh God.
Ah, good
Show me
time.
your good hand. Hit more.
Bring out the borscht. This is not borscht. It is a lobster.
It is lobster.
Not complaining.
No, I'm not
Now I have to think
complaining.
of what pirates sound like. Hey, Chacho, that's not a pirate. That's
right.
more of a pirate. And now we have to go up like this.
She's a pro dealer.
I know she's a pro dealer, but she's a pirate now, you son of a bitch.
A
I'll
pirate.
fuck you up.
Look at her. She really is.
Oh, no.
Dealing in the dark trades, you know?
Name's Olga O'Reilly.
Oh, wow.
That's the truth. I'm a
Oh.
pro dealer.
That's funny, though, because instead of
Make her
O'Reilly,
sound
it's
like a
O'Reilly.
People call me Olga Quick Fingers O'Reilly.
Oh, really? Those fingers do, though.
Want to know something else?
Ah.
I'm not really Russian.
No!
And my last name sounds like O'Reilly.
Damn it! I've been pronouncing it correctly.
Oh, that's not like us.
There, that's the truth. I hope you're satisfied.
Oh, I'm so satisfied with those quick fingers. Woo! Look at that.
I'm figuring her out still. I don't know if she's
Yeah, you are.
going to be Irish or not.
Uh-oh. Witness! Say things.
That was supposed to happen.
Hey, Mr. Mega Hotsie.
I think I just heard someone have a heart attack. Or I heard someone's heart
Heartbreak.
attack. Heartbreak.
That's
wow.
the sound when
okay.
hearts break.
I can't read today. I didn't do any reading practice because I was playing.
Nanny
frickin-
never learned to
I never learned to read. I'm sorry. Fine, I'll talk. We had a plan, see?
I'm gonna remind you that you're currently under oath. God damn it, this is getting old. I'm kidding. Any further fabrications will have serious consequences.
Fine.
Why can't witnesses just come up and say what they said without lying? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Like I said, I'm a pro. That guy, Smith, hired me to do what I do best. I was planted at Borschtborg Blau Cub several days prior to the night of the game. As a waitress.
So you were in cahoots with the victim.
Not that he needed my help. Smith was a well-known poker player in some circles. But winning wasn't the main purpose of this game. It was about destroying a legend, the unbeatable Phoenix Wright. The plan was simple, elegant really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one of their games. Then when their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He enjoys it a lot.
Yeah, wow.
He would then pull out the planted card and the trap would snap shut.
You swapped the cards.
Exposed as a cheater and losing on top of it, it would have made a great double play. And just like that, the legend would be dashed into pieces.
Indeed. Getting caught red-handed at cheating would cast doubt on all his prior wins.
A 7-year legend destroyed by one little card. That was the plan.
Oh, really? Oh, really? How droll. But it appears you made quite the mistake. A mistake? I agree the trap was elegant. Yet what happened to that planted card?
Hey, that's right.
He's lucky, I'll give him that. You'd have to be to
Oh, you'd have to be that lucky.
Oh, you'd
Yeah.
have to be to slip free from the trap laid by Olga Quickfingers O'Reilly. Thank you for that.
Oh, really? Oh, witness would be much cuter if she dispensed with the evil mastermind stick.
Wow, that's such a like.
Honey, you'd be more attractive if you smiled more.
Helen!
Ellen.
It's also research, and my tutor wants to know why I've made the guy sit next to me tell me to go to the other side of class for watching two guys play weird stuff on YouTube, and it's creeping him out.
Oh
So
God!
it'll be ready next week,
No,
hopefully.
were you watching Course Party in class? Don't do that. It's weird.
Yeah.
It gave me literal nightmares.
Yeah, I'm actually illiterate. Yeah,
Mm.
no corpse party, please.
No.
Cute? Who wants to be
we
cute?
can be your little secret.
Okay.
We'll be your dirty little secret.
Dirty little secret.
I'm not cute. I'm bad. You hear me? Bad.
Oh, you're so bad.
Oh, you
look at
bad,
that.
Olga.
Little kitten. Oh, you're so
Oh,
bad.
you dog.
Oh, she's bad, everybody.
Love the power glove. It's so bad.
It's so bad.
Well, when you're through being bad, perhaps you could testify to the court.
Well, we'll never get to testify here at the NyanCave.
Tell us about this trap and how it was sprung.
Oh, you see, Sir Mix-a-Lot came in, and that girl got back, so he got sprung.
Mm.
Long setup, mediocre joke.
We've all been there.
That night, I planted the card like I was supposed to. And Wright lost the last hand, like he was supposed to. And then Smith searched him, and Wright enjoyed it. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed. The next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. It wasn't, it wasn't me who hit Smith. It was that no-good cheating defendant.
What? But you just said he wasn't cheating. You were cheating.
A surprisingly frank testimony that still leaves us mostly in the dark.
The trap was perfect, I tell you. Perfect! If that rotten cheater hadn't messed it up.
Look who's talking.
Right?
Well, the testimony for what it's worth is all yours, Mr. Justice.
With witnesses like her, who needs criminals? With defendants like Mr. Wright, who needs prosecutors?
Yeah, Mark, we're working on it.
All right.
That night I planted the card like I was supposed to.
This planted card. Which card was it exactly?
The trump card. The 5 of hearts.
Wait, what?
They sometimes play with trump cards in poker. I don't know what they do. That.
I thought this was a regular ass game of poker. Now we're playing with trump cards. What is this shit?
think
Next thing
it's-
you know, they're gonna be playing mahjong.
Oh, there it is.
Let me guess, Mr. Wright was to have switched the 5 with the ace to make a full house. At least that's what you were going to accuse him of doing, thereby ruining his legend.
I slid it into Wright's pocket.
When was this?
Why, before the match, of course, while he was eating. At the Borscht Bowl Club, we serve borscht and suckers.
Wait, like literal suckers? They're
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
Remind me never to go there.
of course.
right in
The
there.
card was to make its grand debut during the game. Like a good borscht, a good plot must be cooked up early and allowed to thicken.
borscht takes all day to cook. Like
It
literally, like they would sit for like hours in my house. The whole house would smell like borscht.
Wait, what?
Some people hate the
Yeah.
smell of beets.
Wow.
I didn't.
I didn't know that you ever even had actual borscht.
No, yeah, no, it haunted my childhood. It's Ukrainian dish. It's the dish of my people. What?
Yeah.
What do you think I am?
Canadian.
Not Ukrainian? Jesus.
Yeah. Well,
It's a rite of passage.
oh, okay.
I was born into borscht.
Thickened by it. Layers, people. Layers. All right. So, everything went according to plan.
Exactly. The 5th ace came up, so it's obvious the switch went off without a hitch. Once the extra card was found in his pocket, Wright would be forever known as a cheat and a fraud.
No worse things to be known as, I suppose. Like an android or...
Tell us what happened with the search.
But the planted card was gone! The trap failed.
a video game streamer or something, I don't know.
The next moment, Wright picked up the bottle and swung it.
Wait. Isn't that a little odd?
What's odd?
You searched Mr. Wright thoroughly and found nothing, which means he didn't cheat, which means he had no reason to strike the victim.
Well,
Oh, there it is.
What was that just now?
Oh my
Said
God,
something.
Apollo's awakening.
Oh no!
Something wrong, Mr. Justice.
No, nothing, Your Honor.
That or the burrito's finally settling in.
Should I press her a little harder?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. Miss O'Reilly, you're hiding something.
What are you talking about? Me? Quick Fingers, really? Hide something? The defense will refrain from baseless accusations.
I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true?
Of course it's true. I did see it, honest. I saw it when Wright hit him.
Oh, there it is again.
With my own eyes, I saw it.
What's this weird vibe I'm getting?
That witness, for instance, Miss O'Reilly. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice?
Touching her neck, was it?
Whoa, we're getting a close-up here. Oh my god.
Wow,
Whoa!
wow, 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 wow,
Whoa,
wow,
what's going on? The sensation. It's coming into focus.
It's a new gameplay mechanic.
There, that twitch, it's so clear. It's like I could perceive her habit like I couldn't before.
Ah, press the perceive button.
Oh.
Boom!
Miss O'Reilly, perhaps you are unaware of this yourself.
Unaware of what?
Whenever you get to a certain part of your testimony, you touch the back of your neck with your left hand.
My neck?
Oh, really?
So what?
What indeed, Justice? I hadn't noticed anything of the sort.
When she says that part about the testimony, she subconsciously is recalling something. Her body reacts to the memory, and she touches her neck.
Gotcha.
I'm sure of it.
A memory? Would someone care to explain what he's babbling about?
This is highly unusual, but let's ask the defense. You claim the witness is remembering something.
I guess because this whole game is starting with poker, it's kind of like a poker calling bluffs.
I think that
that's happening.
Instead of the chess motif from
Investigations.
Investigations, this one's
Maybe you have evidence of this memory to show us.
her habit is scratching her neck whenever she talks about the moment of the crime. So, what would remind her most of the moment of the crime? So really, whenever you recall the crime that night, you scratch your neck. Notice it happens when you think about the moment of the crime. There must be a reason behind this habit of yours. I believe the weapon that left an inerasable impression on your neck is this.
I thought it'd be unerasable. Well, I guess that sounds stupid now that I say it. Inerasable.
Deadly bottle? I feel like it has to be the bottle.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, I'd say the bottle. The deadly bottle.
Whenever she talks about the moment of the crime, she touches her neck. And what reminds us more of that moment than this bottle, the murder weapon. Not looking good. But something doesn't fit. If you were only the witness to the crime, why would that make you touch your neck like you're in pain?
What's he talking about now?
It was Mr. Smith, the victim who was hit, not you.
This is a cross-examination, not a cross-wild conjecture. The witnesses' habits? They're completely irrelevant.
Justice, I'll admit I'm a bit confused myself. This is certainly a unique cross-examination. Ha 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 ha.
I'll explain later. Just trust me. Now's our only chance to break her.
Yeah, we're gonna break Quick Fingers.
Miss O'Reilly, please testify in detail about the moment of the crime, this very moment.
No, the very moment.
Yet, I'm doing nothing.
Oh my god. Wait, what?
We know you're not Russian.
Bolshevik.
A witness will testify, please. Now.
Bah, fine.
Ooh.
He's the one who did it. I didn't let him out of my sight until the cops got there.
All right, so was there anything before? Picked up the bottle and swung it.
We didn't press this one.
Yeah, we didn't press this one, correct?
That is correct.
The card disappeared.
Yeah, my trump card, the 5 of hearts. Gone without a trace. Poof, Zippo. We searched every nook and cranny. Callback. Even inside his cute little hat.
But the card was nowhere to be found. Is this correct?
Never in my long storied career. Never has Quick Fingers O'Reilly been so readily duped.
Oh, really? And so what happened to that 5 of hearts?
Don't look at me. Why don't you ask that cheating, lying, two-faced defendant?
5 of hearts is still missing in action. And then Phoenix just pulls it out of the corpse's pocket. He's like, is this your card?
Or out of a release mouth, just.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Ow, angriest.
My favorite cross-examine Legro theme ever!
Ooh. Oh, trying to do the thing. Oh, there we are.
Whoa! Whoa! That's amazing.
Wow. You seem uneasy.
You try sitting up here.
Eyes are darting all over the place. It must be getting warm. Tell me, after the crime, what was the defendant like?
Well, he must have been stunned by the weight of his crime. He sat in a daze at that table until the cops came.
Intriguing. I believe you've gotten all the testimony you're going to get out of this witness. So, what do you think about her testimony?
I'll tell you what I think. Her testimony is flawed.
Flawed, like her foundation.
You bitch.
That's right, I said it.
Is basically bogus. It contradicts the
Contracts
evidence.
the
It
evidence.
contracts the
Days
evidence.
today, aren't we? You and
We
I?
are.
What's that?
Stay in school, kids.
Well, show us this evidence, Mr. Justice. This evidence you claim that contradicts the testimony.
She didn't let him out of her sight until the cops got there. But he made the call from the first floor! Can we just look at this?
No, I think it's the phone.
Oh, that's a good call. From the first floor! Bam! Not even gonna hesitate. So really, we have a record here that clearly contradicts what you said. It states the police were alerted by a report from the defendant.
Okay, fine. Athena. Don't skip Hooked on Phonics, everybody. You can drop out of school. Just don't skip Hooked on Phonics. Okay?
Just read a book every once in a while. Don't be like me.
Out loud.
Out loud to your
Oh,
cat.
out loud, important. Now we know the defendant left the room, climbed the stairs, and made that phone call from the first floor of the Borscht Bowl Club. So, explain how you kept your eye on the defendant after he left the room entirely.
Ooh.
Oh!
There's the
the
lobster.
lobster. Why don't you just took a picture of the lobster?
As it flew, yeah.
The man who picked up a bottle and swung it that night wasn't the defendant.
Dum 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 dum. It was Apollo Justice. Would you say this is like painting on a canvas, almost?
Yeah.
Like a sketch on a canvas?
Yeah.
Showdown time. You dirty cheat! Check his pockets now.
It's gone. The card's gone.
You lose.
Just then, Smith grabbed the bottle from right next to right. Woo! I added a right in there. It's fine. And hit me.
Oh!
You just the master cheating you turned out to be.
No! Damn it! When I came to,
The victim was already dead. Is that it?
that's why I couldn't reveal who I really was. If it came out that I was in the league with Smith, I'd be a suspect for sure.
7 years. 7 years all my life. Every time right. Can't have a normal fucking day with right here. Nope. Should just put him away for the good of everybody. Oh, well, where does this leave us?
Madness. This is madness. I'm dreaming. It must have been me who was hit with the bottle, and I'm imagining all of this.
It appears our prosecution is at its wit's end, and frankly, I can't blame him. Fucking right. Mr. Gavin, what do you think about this turn of events?
Mr. Gavin? Sir?
I believe that, as the defense in this case. We are compelled to call Miss O'Reilly a big, fat liar.
In legal terms.
What?
3 were in the room that night of the murder. The defendant, the victim, and her. And she has a motive.
Motive?
Her plot foiled, the witness got into an argument with her client, Mr. Smith. And the denouement of that argument was murder, most foul.
What? I didn't. I'm no killer. It's a trap. Someone's trying to frame me.
What tangled webs we weave when we practice to deceive.
Ooh.
So tangled we catch ourselves in the process.
Oh, Mr. Wright! Where the fuck did you come from?
Such a hasty conclusion. It's not like you, Christoph Gavin. What are you saying? Why not consider the other possibility? That there was another person in the room at the time of the murder.
Right. Like Mr. Wright was saying before the recess.
A single card was swapped from the victim's hand after the murder. And the one who swapped the cards didn't know 2 colored cards were being used. 2 different colors of cards, anyways. A 4th person.
Ha! This theory again. Your 4th person doesn't exist.
Your clients want to get prosecuted. I would want that person to exist. Indeed. That's why I decided to bring this case to court. Here, where there's no escape and no chance for deception. The perfect place to catch the real criminal.
No.
Oh, the real criminal. And we're in luck. A clue to the real criminal's identity was kindly provided for us. And right at the beginning of the trial, no less.
What? What?
Apollo, perhaps you know what I'm talking about.
I clearly do not. Sorry.
Remember what I said. The 4th person who swapped the cards made one critical error.
He or she wasn't considering the color on the back of the cards?
Right. But how would such an obvious mistake occur?
Colorblind.
Blindness.
My
The cards
God.
were for the last game were red. Yet, there's one person here in our court who thought those cards were blue.
Yeah, I had that impression too, but why?
Well, Apollo, think you can figure out who it was?
It's not me, I swear.
It was our good buddy.
Who is this
Christoph?
4th person?
Why do you always get to put on the why do I always get put on the spot like this?
Let's hear what the defense has to say. Who was it? Who thought the cards used in the final game were blue?
I think our good friend Christoph. And
Can you click on him for a second? Like, what does his profile say?
boss at Gavin Law, a first-rate defense attorney.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why it would be him. Like, I understand that he's like probably via process of elimination.
Could not, dead, likely not.
Like
I mean, I would love to convict Winston Payne. That'd be amazing. I would love this game forever if we locked away Winston Payne in the very beginning.
Yeah.
I think that Christoph did give us the information though.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. And they keep calling the deck blue, but the deck on the table is red.
No, the deck on the table is blue.
Other way, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who thought the final?
President!
Oh wow.
As I expected. Your eyes and ears are as sharp as your hair. Oh, that's the real key to being smart. It's not glasses, it's pointy hair.
Oh man, if only I'd
God damn
known.
No wonder.
I was right.
Christoph, Gavin, you were the fourth person that night.
But of course, Mr. Gavin knows the color of the cards.
How would he? As you can see, the photo of the crime scene is black and white.
It is.
You can't tell which of the cards are blue. The ones on the floor or the table.
But look. You can see the color in this photo.
Yes, but when he said the cards were blue, it was well before this evidence came to light. It is true that Thomas
defendant
skips text.
The defendant was in.
Yes, it is only that. A game in the pure sense. A competition, Your Honor.
A competition?
Yes, a test of wits, a silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs wreathed in blue flame, know its final outcome.
And then it's fun. I like that the game drew a little attention to this line when they said, "What was he doing there?" Being poetic.
Yeah. Well, Christoph?
Mr. Gavin?
Mr. Gavin, is something the matter?
No, nothing. Excuse me. It was just so sudden. Right. You aren't seriously accusing me, are you? Oh, Christoph? You know even I'd never take a joke this far.
This has gone beyond ridiculous, beyond dumb. This is insanity. The defendant accusing his own defense attorney of murder?
I assure you, I'm quite sane. Wink.
But what possible connection could Mr. Gavin have to the victim?
I wasn't aware that I had a connection to Mr. Smith either.
Yeah, but Mr. Gavin and the victim have never even met.
Well, what if they have?
Huh?
There is a possibility, after all. They may have met that night before the game started.
What are you suggesting?
Is this the truth Mr. Wright was staying silent about? Well, only one thing to do. Mr. Wright, the defense would like to request that you testify to the court.
The defense would like to request no such thing.
Mr. Gavin?
Testimonies must relate to the case. How could anything happen before that game of poker be related? I think we just established that.
I mean,
I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Gavin.
As I explained before, the defense believes that Miss O'Reilly...
Am I to assume you speak for Mr. Justice in this? He is the defense, not you.
oh,
Frickin' play!
that is Judgy just having enough of this bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Oh, really? You're gonna try to pull this on me, Christoph?
Not today, Christoph, not today. Mr. Justice, the matter of Mr. Wright's testimony is up to you.
I love it's like,
For 7 years, I had none of this bullshit in my court. Phoenix comes back for 1 day. Get fucked, Christoph. No.
Yep.
oh,
Chat wants to know why you're still here.
oh yeah, because I'm waiting 1 minute until there's a nice clean break. Oh,
That's the problem. Oh, maybe.
okay.
Does the court, in your opinion, need to hear Mr. Wright's testimony?
Here,
Testifony. Ha!
the
I'm gonna use that.
testifony.
That's funny.
Testify.
I'm funny. Testifony. Flubs into miracles, everybody. Judgy, and I'll be here all week.
This was Mr. Wright's strategy. He was planning this all along. And I intend to see it through. The defense would like to request that Mr. Wright testify to the court!
Bam! Ed 2, Justice. Would you betray me, your teacher?
Oh, don't you? I'm sorry, Mr. Gavin. This isn't about loyalty. This is about truth.
Very well. The defendant, Mr. Wright. Please take the stand.
I'll try to rush back, everybody, and see this to the end. See you soon. Okay, go ahead.
Bye. Break a leg, I mean.
Bye.
Break all their legs. They won't be able to walk after they're done with him.
It too.
Or he's done with them.
I heard that.
It too, Justice.
Appetite before murder. That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. We sat at the table in this photograph. Shoddy Smith walked in 5 minutes after Christoph left. When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress. The girl was knocked out cold and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin.
Mr. Gavin! You were at the Borscht Bowl Club at the night of the murder.
I dine with him rather frequently.
And he talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder?
Quite against my will, I had to become involved in a murder. I thought I might be in need of a lawyer, so I called him.
You were planning this all along, weren't you? Right. Just because you want to drag me into your little murder trial.
The only thing I want is the truth. As I did back then, and now.
Sup, cool?
Back then, since the incident. That one time, when everything changed. The incident.
At that place.
That fateful day.
That fateful day.
And with those shoes. And my hat. And
My axe.
and my axe.
I thought my office was doing you a favor when we took your defense. It appears I was wrong. Oh, well, the defense may cross-examine the witness. By the way, may I comment on how good you two sound today? Absolutely fabulous. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Judgy.
Justice,
Sir!
he's lying, and you're going to expose him.
Understood, sir. Mr. Gavin versus Mr. Wright. This can't end well. Why can't I have a normal trial?
Appetite before murder. I live for these little, like, title cards. That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. We sat at the table in this photograph.
You had dinner with Mr. Gavin?
Yes, he dines with me at the Borscht Bowl Club quite frequently. We were enjoying the usual dinner at our usual spot, as usual.
Usual. Usual? Usual.
Usual. I always eat at the table closest to the piano.
I see. Where Mr. Smith was sitting.
So, the plates and such on the table were from your dinner.
Indeed. The remnants of my meal with Christoph. We dined for 2 hours, then Christoph left. After that, Shoddy Smith walked in 5 minutes after Christoph left.
5 minutes? So, the two of them could have passed in the restaurant during that time? Wow. Reading.
That would have been a fateful encounter, to be sure.
Oh, Mr. Wright. What was it you said? Christoph Gavin and Shoddy Smith may have met?
I believe I did say that.
Here I was nervous about this meeting. And now we hear that they just had passed in the hall?
Well, it does seem a little weak as a pretense for murder.
Oh, it would be, if that was all that really happened.
Come on, Mr. Wright. What are you hiding this time?
When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress.
About this failed trap. This is the same trap that Miss Olga O'Reilly mentioned.
The plan was simple, elegant, really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one of their games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He would then pull out the planted card and the trap would snap shut.
You swapped the cards! See?
Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces.
Man, some people just want to see the world burn.
Some people do.
Yes, a harmless prank in essence. It was by quirk of fate that I'd happened to discover it.
A quirk?
I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card.
The card she planted!
Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game. Oh, disposed? Where? There was an empty bottle of grape juice I'd been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle.
An empty bottle of grape juice.
The murder weapon!
Yes, I rolled it up and shoved it in. The colored glass makes it hard to see.
A battle of wits to decipher between the deceiver and the would-be deceived. That sounds like a terrific drama.
A card inside the murder weapon. That's strange. Did the police miss it in their investigation? Maybe I'll take a look.
Mr. Wright, the pokerhead of courtroom number 3 approves of this battle of wits. Please provide your testimony to this new information.
I discovered the trap during the game and disposed of the card in the bottle. I don't know if I can do this. Check it. I can't. What if I just like zoom this bishop? Oh yeah, wow.
Insert bottle into eye. I can't seem to see what's inside of it. Maybe take off the lid.
Bottle's completely empty. Well, that's that. I discovered the trap and disposed of the card in the bottle. Well, I'll press it.
Why in the bottle?
I perceived my opponent's intent immediately. I'm used to entrapment, you see. I knew what was coming.
Ho-ho! So you struck first. I like that.
I know every trick in the book. They don't work on me.
At least when you get lucky and stick your hand in your pocket, they don't.
Aw, man, Wright's just blessed like that.
Hashtag blessed.
He's got the god Shutakumi watching over him. The girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police.
You made the call to the police from the first floor of the restaurant, correct?
Exactly. Cell phones don't get a signal down in the hideout. I like that.
Was anyone else on the first floor at the time?
Not a soul. It was in the middle of the night, after all. So there, in the darkened restaurant, I called the cops. After making the call, I returned to the hideout. It didn't seem right to leave the injured waitress alone. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. Oh, shoot.
And when you returned, the victim was already...
Dead, yes. I'll admit, I was a little startled when I walked in.
Oh, a little.
He was bleeding from his forehead, after all.
I guess I'd be startled too if I walked in on a scene like that.
That's when I made another phone call. The defense attorney, Gavin.
Could you explain why you called Mr. Gavin?
I'd obviously gotten involved in a rather sticky affair. And I figured Kristoff's law offices would give me a friend rate for my defense fees.
Ah, glad to hear you intend to pay.
Oh, I'll pay in full, Kristoff. It was I who got you involved after all. Hey, Helen, what up?
Mean Girls Taylor Louderman style. I don't know the song, so I can't even attempt. I'll just read it loudly. I want to watch the world burn. I got the gasoline. I want to watch the world burn and everyone turn mean. Sorry, was listening to Mean Girls OBC album earlier.
Damn. Thanks, Helen.
Thanks, Helen.
Hey, Dr. Pants!
What up? Oh, look what I forgot to renew. Sorry I haven't been around much lately. Life gets in the way sometimes. Absolutely.
Aw,
Don't worry about it. You just
you're always welcome here.
Yeah, you just do you.
Yeah. Whenever you're available.
We'll
be here.
Live your life happily.
Where everybody knows your name.
There's gonna
Thank
be
you.
a pants in the chat.
You may find the price of your defense quite high, my good friend. Quite high. Quite high.
Is this the truth Mr. Wright was talking about?
Justice, you know what you have to do. He's lying. Expose him. Now.
Yes, sir. I have to think. What's Mr. Wright trying to tell me with this testimony? The truth has to be in there somewhere.
I wonder if Wright has a tick. Now he's cool as a cucumber. Oh wait, the head dash.
The head tilt and the smile.
Oh. Oh.
Ooh.
Do you think it's this one just because of the head tilt?
Might do. Well,
He
let's
looks
press
away.
it, right?
I already pressed it.
Oh, we already pressed it.
Yeah. How long did I yearn for one of these? Just putting it on makes me feel ready.
I thought it said pretty. Makes me feel pretty. There's a number inscribed on the back of the badge. There are many numbers like it, but this one's mine. Proof that I'm an attorney. To tell the truth, I just get a happy feeling inside looking at it.
Time of death was 2 a.m. April 17th. That's caused by a single blow to the forehead. Now here's the thing, right? Wright said something about bleeding, and I don't think he was bleeding.
Yeah, he was. Well,
it's
down the back of his head.
It's down the back of his head.
Apollo, my boy.
Why are they using black and white photos in this day and age? Like,
The
this
future?
is 7 years in the future.
I
I don't
know.
think we dealt with a black and white photo in the last game. Maybe we did like one, but like, what's going on, guys?
Have we pushed all these yet?
Yeah, pushed everything.
Yeah, I would say the tilty one. But,
It says blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. Man, like, that's not the natural way the blood... Unless... I don't know. Weird. Used by the defendant to notify the police from the restaurant's first floor. Oh, right. I swear, this is important, this tape. Alright. Okay, let's just press this one more time.
and when you returned, the victim was already
Dead, yes. I'll admit, it was a little startled when I walked in. A little, yeah. He was bleeding from his forehead after all. It seemed like that. Damn. Oh.
Oh no, it's we threw the bottle when he's at he put the thing in the bottle because the bottle's empty, remember?
Yeah.
Angry! Shady Smith is the Avatar! Look at the photo. I think he looks more like Sparky Boom Man myself. But-
Oh,
no,
I
yeah,
didn't-
he's the Avatar.
I didn't see that. We're talking about, Avatar?
The last Airbender.
Oh, yeah, okay. I haven't seen it. And now chat proceeds to blow up and get mad at me. Here it comes. All right, let's send the bottle.
Yep. Let's throw it at Phoenix.
Prints are upside down. It doesn't say it's empty, but the checking said it was empty.
Yeah. Objection! I don't think I can get that. Mr. Wright, if I may?
Yes?
I've examined the bottle and I don't see any card in here.
No. Okay, guys, you know what? I'm going to watch the last Airbender live action movie and base my entire opinion of the series on that movie. Where's my troll face?
Yeah.
I have a troll face in my room.
Do that. It's a good idea.
What, Mr. Wright? Surely. Isn't that all you have to say for yourself?
I can't say that I know what happened to the card. I did put it in that bottle, however.
Huh?
Perhaps a fifth person came and took it out. Oh, and a sixth person could have helped. Mr. Gavin, Mr. Wright is your client. My apologies, Your Honor.
I won't have you disparaging our investigation either. We looked inside that bottle and there was nothing.
So what's going on? Is Mr. Wright hoodwinking us again?
Hoodwinked. Fun word.
Or did the card just disappear?
In any case, please continue the cross-examination. I'm afraid decisive contradictions call for decisive evidence.
Oh.
Push him harder, Justice. Break him. It's just you and the witness in the ring. Go for the KO.
Why do I get the feeling we're not on our client's side anymore?
That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. We sat at the table in the photograph. Shady Smith walked in 4 minutes after. In a trap. The girl knocked out cold. I returned, dead, blood streaming. That's when I called defense attorney Gavin. Oh, what's gonna be different this time? Did we just lose the bottle one? Oh.
I guess we have to repress?
I feel like we're like right where we were. Like we just did a circle. I wonder if we needed to though.
I think we just gotta repress, my friend.
All right.
You had dinner with Mr. Gavin. Yes, usual spot. Usual? I always eat.
Closest to the piano. I see. Yep. Yeah. Plates 1 for dinner. Indeed. Christoph, 2 hours after that.
5 minutes.
During that time. A fateful encounter to be sure.
Hee.
Oh, Mr. Wright. I believe I did say that in a remote meeting. Past the hall. All that really happened. Why in the bottle? See my opponents immediately. Entrapment. Who's coming? Ho ho. Yep. Won't work on me. Pocket. They don't. The girl was knocked out cold and Smith was uncontrollable. I called the police.
You made the call to the police from the first floor of the restaurant, correct?
Exactly. Cell phones don't get a single. Down the hideout.
Was anyone else on the first floor at the time?
Not a soul. It was in the middle of the night after all. So there in the darkened restaurant, I called the cops. After making the call, I returned to the hideout. It didn't seem right to leave the injured waitress alone. When I returned, he was dead. Blood streaming from a cut on his forehead.
And when you returned, he was already
dead. Yes, I'll admit. I was a little startled when I walked in. A little.
I guess I'd be startled too if I walked in on that.
Oh my god. No.
Bless you.
I can't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
We are called defense attorney Gavin. That's
Could you explain why?
A sticky affair. Christoph for my fees. Glad you intend to pay. Oh, I'll pay in full, Christoph. It was you who got involved after all. You may find the price of your defense quite high, my friend. Quite high.
Is this the truth that Mr. Wright was talking about?
Justice, you know what you have to do. He's lying. Expose him now. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I have to think. What's Mr. Wright trying to tell me with this testimony? The truth has to be in there somewhere. Yeah, sitting near the piano.
Oh, wait a second. Hat removed during the investigation. Oh, duh.
How could you see the blood?
Yeah, exactly. So I have to...
Yeah, I said do it.
What do I... is it 1 or 2, you think?
1. Because then you'd be like, what blood, bitch?
Yeah. But 2 works too because it says hat removed during the investigation, but we'll go with 1. Objection! Ooh, seems to have worked.
Mr. Wright, if I may.
Yes?
Take a look at this photograph of the crime scene.
Look at this photograph. I'm really glad we brought the word photograph back.
See the victim here? He's wearing a hat. I wouldn't think you could see blood on his forehead.
Good point. Justice. Next time you point out an inconsistency, put a little more oomph into it. Mr. Wright, can you explain this to the court? Ah, I forgot to mention something. I was the one who put that hat on his head.
Huh?
You?
Put the hat on the dead man's head. He wore it through our entire poker game. After calling the police when I returned to the scene, his head was in full view. Shining bright, just like in this photograph. And? I picked up his hat off the floor and put it on his head.
Why did you choose such a thing like that?
All I can say is, I'm sorry. But that's the only thing I touched at the crime scene.
So, Missile really didn't see it. It being the victim's, His head.
I think not. She was out cold. I believe I was the only one who witnessed his head. Ah, here we go again. Hey, Roboy, what up?
Roboy! Christoph, you're being an... I don't know what that... I'm not going to say that. It could be something really bad. I don't want to get arrested.
I think Arsh is butt.
Well, what's the...
I don't know. I'm going to assume butt.
Thanks, Roboy! I'm still
Thanks.
not going to say it, though. Ass with ears. Ah, DJ, thanks.
Nice to join.
Arsh Smith Oren. Arsh Smith Oren. Mr. Gavin?
Oh, ass with ears. Get it? Yeah, butt face.
Yeah.
Pardon. It just seems that our client is determined to lie his way through this case.
Hey, he's still our client, isn't he?
I believe that's enough of that.
Mr. Gavin?
This witness's testimony is more like a travesty. It's riddled with lies. I'm beginning to see how you came to lose your attorney's badge 7 years ago at the incident. Well, you certainly have a unique way of treating your clients, Christoph. I never knew. I believe it was you who threw the first stone.
Mr. Wright, if you intend to ever tell the truth about this case, it's now or never.
Don't be misled. I haven't told a single lie here.
Huh?
When I noticed the trap, I put the card in the bottle to dispose of it. And when I put the hat on the victim's head, let's just say I had a reason for doing that as well. Oh, a reason? That reason is right here.
Your cell phone?
That night, recall that I spoke with defense attorney Gavin after calling the police. Just in case, I recorded our conversation. What's this? Now that we're all here, I see no reason why I shouldn't play it back for the court. Christoph, I seem to be in a bit of trouble. What's this? Game not going well? Something like that. That gentleman who challenged you, he turned out to be good. He turned out to be dead. Someone hit him hard. You mean that someone cracked that flawless bone china pate? You mean someone cracked that flawless bone china pat? I don't know.
Pate?
Pate, perhaps. It wasn't you, was it? Me? Please, the cop should be here any minute.
Pate, a person's head.
Oh, Pate, nice. I'm in your hands, should it come to that.
Bone china plate?
Kind of porcelain, very smooth and shiny. And not plate, but Pate. I believe he was referring to a certain gentleman's balding forehead. The court appreciates the defendant's discretion in not indicting my forehead, or indicating my forehead.
Wait a second. Something's not right about that phone call. So, after Mr. Gavin ate with you, he left the Borscht Bowl Club.
Most certainly.
Then how did he know? When did he see this bone china pate?
Oh, that's right. Yes. That was when I began to see my good friend in a different light. Troubled, I returned to the crime scene. And when I spotted Mr. Smith's head again, I realized exactly what was wrong. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage has been set. Perhaps you would like to explain this to the court. Exactly how did you come by your privileged knowledge of the victim's head? So, this is your reason. The reason why you put the victim's hat back on. Your point, Mr. Gavin? It's come down to this, has it? Phoenix Wright. Order! I will have order! Mr. Payne!
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe this court has been left with no other choice. Are you prepared to hear Defense Attorney Gavin's testimony?
Well, as the prosecutor, I...
Very well, we'll break for 10 minutes, after which Mr. Gavin will take the stand for a cross-examination. Are we clear on that? Crystal clear, Your Honor. Very well, this will be the final recess for the day. Gavin's not gonna be happy.
Mr. Gavin and Mr. Wright are both in the judge's chamber.
Oh.
Who'd have thought today would turn out like this?
May I?
Oh, shit!
Huh? What?
It's odd, though. I could have sworn in the picture she was cloaked in red.
I know.
And now she's cloaked in blue, and there were red cards and blue cards. What is happening? What is
Ooh.
going on?
Well, she reclassed to blue mage because she much preferred
Ah.
monster skills over, you know, the typical white and black magic. Because we all know white wind is a superior spell to Curaga.
Of course. Ugh, one instance. God damn it. Yeah, blue mages are pretty cool.
Hello, sir. Please, pick a card.
What's all this about? Is this one okay?
Excellent. I have a message for you. The last hand is about to be played. You need a trump card to make it.
A trump card?
The card you have chosen is magical. Use it wisely, and the game is yours. That's all.
Ooh!
An ace. Where do I remember that card from?
Mr. Smith's hand had 3 aces, and Mr. Wright's 2. It is 5 aces in all.
I hate flashbacks with her.
It is true, I've seen it! The 5th ace! That was cheating, I swear to you!
The missing 5th ace! Wait, this splotch of red. Is this blood?
You have your trump card. Now it's up to you to cut the deck and draw the truth. My father's fate is in your hands. I know you can do it.
Damn. Whoosh.
This blood-stained card is my trump card for finding the truth? I fell into deep thought as my mind raced to understand what this all meant. That girl? I'd seen her recently, but where? That's when I made the connection.
My father.
Dum 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 dum. It's funny, these red and blue motifs, these card motifs.
It's very good, it's very good.
I like these thinly veiled themes.
Thanks for subscribing, Kale Rubis.
Saw Capcom on that card. Capcom is the murderer. I also want to talk about how the audience is entirely comprised of twins. I guess that was a law that passed where they said that the only people allowed to be on a jury or like view a courtroom must have an identical twin.
And they must sit on opposite sides.
I mean, technically that would be like the most fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Red Mage Guild. Oh, we will.
Court will now reconvene. Defense Attorney Christoph Gavin, will you please take the stand?
He's so fancy.
He is.
He already knows, though.
Now then, if you would, Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. The witness. Will the witness state his name and occupation?
Is this farce necessary, Your Honor?
Believe me, far stranger things have happened in this courtroom, especially in the presence of that cursed Wright.
Fine, I'll play along.
First, there's one thing we need to have made clear. How did you know about the secret beneath the victim's hat?
By secret, I'm guessing he means the fact that Mr. Smith was bald. Knew it. Blech.
Forgive my curiosity, but what is it about this fellow's head? Your Honor seems to have an inordinate interest in it. Objection! That was definitely Phoenix.
Yes, Papa!
That's amazing. Oh, and the theme.
So good.
Oh, that's amazing. I wouldn't call it inordinate, Mr. Gavin.
Mr. Wright?
What do you think you're doing, Mr. Wright?
Stealing your apprentice.
Wow, things sure look different from the other side. You know what I mean, Apollo? Speaking of looking from the other side, let's consider something for a second. The victim wore that hat all night, never once taking it off, except for that one time.
That one time being the instant he was hit.
Oh!
When Mr. Wright returned from reporting the crime, the hat was laying on the floor. Mr. Wright picked it up and placed it on the victim's head. In other words, in order to have seen Mr. Smith's bald head, you would have had to be at the scene of the crime, at the time of the crime.
In other words, you'd have to be the real killer, is what you're trying to say.
Ooh, he's so smug.
Not bad, Apollo.
Why is Phoenix allowed over there? That's so funny.
Mr. Gavin. I'm afraid that I haven't been entirely honest with the court.
What?
Oh, I assure you, I had the noblest of intentions. I did it all to protect my client, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
Yet I'm afraid in the current situation I see little reason to hide anything. Very well, allow me to tell you the truth of what happened that night.
Finally. God damn it. You may begin your testimony. Tell us how you were involved in the events of that fateful night.
Hobo Phoenix does as he pleases. I guess so. He's above the law. The rage I sensed in that man that night troubled me, so I returned to the club. I went down to the basement and peeked in through the little window of the hideout. It must have been right after the murder took place. The victim was dead, as he appears in the photo. A bald head, an unconscious girl, and Wright, holding a bottle in his hand. I sensed that was not the best place for me to be at that time, so I left. That's when the call came from Wright.
Ooh.
So, you witnessed the murder?
For better or worse, I missed the actual moment of the deed.
Mr. Gavin, may I remind you that you're on Mr. Wright's defense team? Your testimony is clearly disadvantaged to your client.
Disadvantageous, yeah, this is kind of weird. What else could I say? I'm standing on the witness stand, after all.
So you are, Mr. Gavin. And you had to testify as you just did. You had to tell them you saw the scene of the crime through that little window.
Mr. Wright?
You had to say that. Because that was the only probable window of opportunity. Right, Apollo?
Oh!
Mr. Wright, the defense should do the cross-examination, not the defendant. Mr. Justice, are you prepared?
Yes, Your Honor. I can't believe I'm going up against Mr. Gavin.
Yeah, this is freaking crazy.
This trial is getting weirder and weirder.
The rage I sensed in that man that night troubled me, so I returned to the club.
That man! You mean Mr. Smith?
He was different from the other customers. His aura, shall we say. I knew he was a serious poker player, but it was more than
You
that.
some kind of hippie?
So then, you do the true nature of your client's job.
Of course. But I also knew he wasn't engaged in gambling, which would be illegal.
Is gambling illegal in Japan? Might do. Well, pachinko's not illegal.
But I don't know if you can win money at pachinko. Like, I guess
Yeah,
you
you
can.
can.
I'm
Maybe
trying
it's
to
'cause it's
figure
like
that
a
out.
game of skill.
I wonder if it's like a Japanifornia thing or if it's like this like fantasy world. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, gambling is illegal in Japan?
Wow. Yes. Gambling is legal. Gambling is very illegal. Huh.
Man, no wonder gacha games are so like rampantly popular.
Because it's the only outlet for their gambling itch.
Yeah, like there's something about gambling that's like deeply seated, like rooted in human psychology that's like really powerful. It's scary, really.
Well, it makes sense that he'd know. They were friends after all.
No, they weren't playing for money, mayonnaise. They were playing for sport, which is allowed. Yeah. But pachinko is interesting. I don't know enough about pachinko to say.
Worried for my friend, I returned to the club. You see, I feared this Mr. Smith might be someone coming to settle an old score.
I see. What happened then?
JD! I feel like Apollo is the waiter serving an arguing couple right now.
Basically.
Would you like me to come
Yes,
back
JD.
later? Should I get you some water?
Oh, okay. So apparently pachinko, you get prizes that you can pawn off for money. That makes sense too, because I've seen in anime where they have those like they're usually like customer rewards though, whatever. You get like the ball and they roll the thing and the ball comes out and like a white ball is nothing, a red ball is a prize, blue ball is a prize, a gold ball is like the big prize, and it's like a thing.
I see. What happened then?
I went down into the restaurant and peeked into the window to the hideout.
The little window. You mean the one used to keep watch upstairs? Up the stairs?
Yes, a relic of the ancient past. The Black Marketeers used it, I believe.
Why did you go through the trouble of peeking through the window? Wouldn't it have been easier just to open the door and go into the room?
I didn't want to upset Wright, you see.
Upset Mr. Wright?
Yes, what if my fears had been unfounded? I'd be walking in on their match. Bad form, to say the least.
So far, everything he's saying makes sense.
It must have been right after the murder took place.
How do you know it was right after the murder?
Really? No need to shout justice. I was just getting to that part in my testimony.
Ah, there he is. The coolest defense in the West we know and love. Even when you're standing up on the witness stand, some things never change.
I was afraid you'd change too, right? But you haven't. You and that overbearing personality of yours.
With friends like these, who needs enemies?
The victim was dead as he appears in the photo.
By photo, you mean the second photograph of the crime scene.
Precisely. You see, he wasn't wearing his hat then. I saw his head when he was dead.
And then Mr. Wright came along and replaced his hat.
Can you describe the scene of the crime for us?
A bald-headed, unconscious girl, and Wright holding a bottle in his hand.
Those were the only three at the scene of the crime?
Yes, as far as I saw at least.
Then we're back where we started. The killer was the defendant, Phoenix Wright. Who else could it have been? But why didn't you talk to the police?
2 reasons. First, I didn't actually witness the very moment of the crime. Second, my office was asked to defend Wright. Even after seeing what I had seen, I couldn't abandon my friend.
There must have been someone else there at the scene of the crime.
Justice, I just said I saw no one, not a soul.
But that goes against what Mr. Wright said.
Ah yes, this mysterious 4th person. Who would conveniently be the real killer, I suppose.
Glad to see we agree, Mr. Gavin.
Let me pose a question then. Tell me, what possible reason did the real killer have to swap the cards in the victim's hand? Perhaps you can show us a reason why such a thing would be necessary.
How can I show something I can't find myself?
Remember, Apollo, the card that was swapped out in the, was the 5th ace.
The 5th ace, right.
Well, Mr. Justice. Question of why the killer would have swapped out a card has been raised. Can you point to a reason?
Show evidence.
The reason why...
It's the bloody ace.
Yeah, we could receive a mysterious girl. Could this be the 5th ace? Zooming in. Enhance. Yeah, Capcom Collections?
Yeah.
I can examine this.
A single drop of blood marks the front of the card.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. It's now or never. The defense would like to present evidence to the court. Evidence showing the reason why a card was swapped out.
Then go ahead and point out your reason, Mr. Justice. Why did the killer take the 5th ace?
Take that! Uh-oh. My reason is, this.
Is that an ace?
Why? It's got blood on it! Right next to the spade! What?
This is insane! Why wasn't I told about this? Why?
Could this be? Could this be the missing 5th ace? Inconceivable. How could you? What are you doing with that card?
Well, that's the thing. Why is Mr. Gavin so upset?
I don't know how this would fly. Like, how are you supposed to explain? Oh yeah, like some random girl came up to me in the court lobby and handed me this evidence. I don't know where it came from, but it seems legit.
Well, technically, I picked the card myself.
Yeah. So.
There was only one card to choose from.
And she said it was magic, so I
Yes.
mean, here we are.
It's just a fishy card from some fishy girl.
Oh, that card. It's mine. That is, I picked it up at the Borscht Bowl Club that night after the murder had occurred. I gave it to my daughter. Guards are her stock and trade, after all. Well, there we go. That's explained by me, or for me.
Objection.
No, impossible. Unacceptable. The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud. Fraud? How can you be so sure? What? I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer. Allow me to elaborate. What if this trace of blood was the reason?
The reason for...
For the killer to take the card from the scene of the crime.
Where are you going with this?
Taking a look at the photo and at the victim's head. At the moment of the crime, his hat fell to the floor, and a trickle of blood ran from his forehead down the back of his head. Couldn't a drop of that blood have fallen on one of the cards?
I suppose.
The killer then took the card to hide the blood. Regardless, that evidence is non-permissible. Oh? Right. Regardless of how you wasted the last 7 years, you used to be a lawyer. You know what a serious crime it is to conceal evidence. Oh, we can discuss the finer points of our legal system later. What's important now is that I've answered your question. What are you talking about? You wanted to know why the killer would have taken a card from the crime scene. And now, I've told you. That one drop of blood would have been decisive evidence, you see. This is baseless. Conjecture baseless. Pointing. Yes! Oh, I assure you, it's quite based. Based.
Remember when that was a thing?
Based evidence.
Based evidence.
Based evidence. Oh, God. Based evidence. Based that evidence. It's done.
It's so supple and moist.
What? It's amazing, really, how a single drop of blood on a single card can lead us to the truth. It's quite simple. Well, Apollo?
Yes! Yes?
Try picturing the scene of the crime. In your head.
Yeah. Mind Palace.
Boom.
Wow, Mind Palace.
New gameplay mechanics coming. Is this supposed to be in 3D? Oh, wrong
Mind
side.
Palace.
Oh, it's not 3D. That's sad. The murder took place in the hideout. The body of the luckless victim was found at the poker table. And before the killer swapped a card out, there was a single card with a drop of blood on it in the victim's hand. Given this, there's one decisive problem with this scene.
Well, what is it?
Let's keep it simple, shall we? Given that there was a drop of blood on the card, whose position in this diagram doesn't fit? The victims, the killers, the witnesses, the second witnesses? Whose position doesn't fit with the bloody card? I guess it's got to be the victim, right?
Yeah, because if it ran down the back of his head, how did the card get there?
Right? I'm gonna go with the victim.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, isn't it the victim's position that's the problem?
I don't follow your logic here, Mr. Justice.
Well, look, the victim was struck on the head, sending him back in his chair. You'd think any blood would have fallen behind the body, not onto the table in front of him.
Oh!
Take a look at this photo again. If he bled in this position, the blood would fall on the floor, not on the cards.
Why, that's right. So what does this mean?
Incidentally, we were sitting in swivel chairs.
Swivel chairs? Oh man.
Apollo, try turning the chair around. Oh my God. That's amazing. Technology, everybody. Technology.
Well, the chair was facing the other way.
It would have to be. So, we have to assume that at the time of the murder, the victim's chair was facing away from the table.
And Mr. Wright returned from informing the police, which way was the chair facing?
When I came back to the room, the body was facing as seen in this photo.
That would mean the killer turned the chair back around.
Let's take the next step. Look at this diagram once more. We know the victim was facing away from the table at the time of the murder. But this creates another significant contradiction.
Again?
Let's test your reasoning skills again, shall we? Apollo, whose location in this diagram contradicts our new understanding of the crime?
The victims, the killers, the witnesses, the second witnesses? Whose location creates a contradiction if the victim was facing away?
The second witness.
Oh, it's got to be the killer.
Oh, the killer. Yeah, that makes more sense than what I said. The victim was struck from the front, correct?
Indeed.
Well, wouldn't it be hard for the killer to hit him from the front?
Man, you know, like, if you ever take one of those, like, insane chance hits, like, I don't know, like, he threw the glass bottle and it ricocheted off of, like, 2 pillows and then, like, dunk, 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 got him in the head.
Yeah.
Literally be an unsolvable crime.
Yeah. It's the magic bullet thing, but it would be the magic bottle.
Yeah. Like a ricocheting bullet. That'd be really cool. Oh, but then I guess there'd be ricochet marks. We'll figure it out later. Maybe magnets. We can get magnets to curve the bullet. Yeah, like
yeah, there was like a hard, like above, there was like an electromagnet factory above them.
Yeah.
So when the shot happened,
Damn it, but that's too much evidence. We'd have to get rid of the factory after.
It was just a pop-up stand, you know. Sitting where his indicator currently is?
I would think it'd be quite hard, yes.
Yes, but what you're saying makes no sense. Why would the victim suddenly turn to face the wall in the middle of a game?
I believe a sufficient reason will soon come to light.
What?
There's something in this diagram that makes far less sense, actually. Look again at the diagram. Apollo, if the victim was struck while he was sitting in as shown here, where would his assailant be standing? Try marking it on the diagram.
What? But there's no room to put a mark where the killer should be.
Don't worry. Let's think it through and see what we find. We know the victim was facing towards the wall at the time of the crime. That's the only thing we know for sure. Try to forget about everything else. Where would the killer have to be standing to strike our victim from the front?
Inside the computer.
I mean, he said to forget everything, right? And
Yeah.
just do it. So
Yeah,
let's just do it. Let's just do it.
The killer had to be standing, well, here.
Oh, crap.
You get points for flair, but that's about all you get.
I thought I was onto something there too.
I hardly need to point out that standing there would be impossible. The victim is facing a solid cupboard.
Oh.
Or are you claiming the killer climbed the cupboard and hit him from above? Ha!
It's simple logic, really. If this was the only place the killer could have been standing, then that means that at the very moment of the crime...
Wait, I know! At the moment of the crime, the cupboard wasn't there.
Oh, what's this now? I mean, that's the only explanation, right, Mr. Gavin? Your Honor, I have a suggestion for the defense. We should arrange to examine the cupboard in the hideout immediately.
Bailiff, send a team to the crime scene immediately. Have them try to move the cupboard.
Ah, Your Honor?
What?
There's one more thing your men should look for. Please give this to the bailiff.
Yes, I see. You do belong in the courtroom after all, Mr. Wright.
I do my best. Oh man, Wright's such a legend. And he's a papa now.
He's a papa.
He's a papa. Man, he looks good with that scruff though, I like it.
My God.
Also, can we talk about how like his pointy hair is ever so
I
slightly
think there was a
pointing
knock at the door.
out of his toque? Okay. Well, who wants to play Who's at the Door? Is it the Amazon man? I don't know, I haven't ordered anything recently. Is it my mother? Is it... I don't know, it's... Who was it?
The mail.
Oh, cool. Like,
We got a package. Well, we didn't get a package, but someone got a package.
okay. Let's forge ahead here while we wait. Look at the diagram once again. It's been changed. If the killer was standing here at the time of the crime, then this cupboard wasn't here, which means... Paulo, try moving the cupboard.
Oh.
Thank you. Anytime, Phoenix. As you can see, the cupboard was the problem. At the time of the murder, it has to be moved. At the time of the murder, it has to have been moved as shown here. Now everything is in place to reconstruct the moment of the crime. Oh my! What's this?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, what is it now? Well, look at the diagram of the crime scene once more. it appears we found yet another contradiction. What I believe to be the final contradiction, in fact.
Huh? Oh, dang!
Notice something, Apollo? Our line of deduction is rapidly approaching its logical conclusion.
Now then, Mr. Justice, please point to the new contradiction to the indicator. Is it the victim, the killer, the witness, or the second witness? Which indicator in this diagram contradicts what we know about the crime?
You can't see shit.
Number 2. About this cupboard. Are we all okay with assuming it was moved?
Wait, sure, why not?
Well, if it was, something really doesn't fit. The cupboard would completely cover up the window to the stairs.
Oh!
That's right. Someone standing outside wouldn't be able to see in. Someone like Mr. Gavin.
What? What did you say?
Oh! Is the coolest defense in the West losing his cool?
Don't expect me to play along with your little game, right?
It's only a game until someone gets killed, Mr. Gavin. And someone was, while the window of that room was blocked by a cupboard. So, Mr. Gavin, perhaps you'd like to explain to the court. Exactly where did you witness the crime scene from?
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Ah, there he is, my boy.
Order! This court of law, this is a court of law, and I will have order.
We just now received word from the investigative team at the Bushville Club. They've examined the cupboard in the hideout, Your Honor.
Oh, and what did they find?
Well, Your Honor, it turns out there's a secret passage behind it.
What?
Ah, yes. I believe I mentioned something of the sort before. This is one of the tricks of the room that many of our regulars know about.
I do remember him saying something about that now that he mentions it.
A secret passage is a handy thing to have when you're engaged in illegal goings-on. You never know when you might need to duck away from the eyes of the law.
So the room has a secret passage. Where does it go?
The other side connects to the restaurant above. The underworld bosses would get away from the cops and enjoy a cold bowl of borscht, no doubt. Just like our killer. But why? You see where our line of simple deductive reasoning has led us, Apollo?
I see it, but I don't believe it. That girl wasn't kidding when she said she needed this trump, or I need this trump card for the last hand. At the time of the murder, the window was blocked and the victim's hat was off. It was only off his head for a few minutes between Mr. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright's return from calling the cops. In other words, the only place anyone could have seen the victim's bald head was from inside the hideout. Well, Mr. Gavin, come on, say something.
Dare I ask what really happened that night?
Actually, I think we can probably figure it out ourselves at this point. That night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mr. Smith. A date with destiny. Where he crouched, hidden in the secret passageway behind the cupboard. Holding his breath, waiting for just the right moment. Then the chance came, and he took it.
What? Why did you do that? Wait here, I'll get help.
Miss Olga O'Reilly was out cold, struck by Mr. Smith. But his time was soon to come. Mr. Wright went upstairs to call the cops, leaving Mr. Shaddy Smith alone in the hideout with the unconscious dealer. Then our killer stepped out from the secret passage into the hideout.
The victim must have heard the cupboard sliding aside.
He wheeled his chair around to
Surprise.
look and...
After the deed was done, the criminal must have seen the blood on the card. He would have, of course, realized he needed to destroy the evidence. That single spot of blood told the whole story of the crime.
Too bad for him he didn't linger any longer in the hideout that night. If he had, he might have noticed the cards on the floor. And the fact that they were all red.
Oh, hair flip.
Nani?
Nani?
Well, it seems this trial has taken yet another turn. I'm truly, truly sorry I had to see this day come, Mr. Gavin.
Mr. Gavin?
Mr. Payne,
Yes, Your Honor.
the prosecution will continue its investigation. As Mr. Phoenix Wright, the defendant is hereby cleared of all suspicion. Believe me when I say I don't believe this is happening, Mr. Gavin. But I'm afraid circumstances call for me to issue a warrant for your arrest immediately.
What? You can't do that.
Oh, no need to apologize. I rather enjoyed myself. It's not every day you get to witness a legendary attorney's dirty tactics firsthand. Your point, Mr. Gavin? Frankly, Your Honor, I'm shocked that a person of your caliber would be taken in by such low-grade parlor trick.
Excuse me.
The defendant is cleared of all suspicion. This is hardly the time for jokes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright hasn't proven anyone's guilt or innocence here. What he has done is use illegal evidence to put the blame on someone else. And not just anyone else, but me, his own defense attorney.
Illegal evidence?
Let me ask you, Mr. Gavin, is there still any reason at present to suspect me of wrongdoing? Of course. This bottle, for instance.
The bottle of grape juice with Mr. Wright, or the Mr. Wright was drinking.
How do you intend to explain away the fingerprints on the murder weapon? And not just any fingerprints. Am I right, Mr. Payne?
Actually, yes. The fingerprints on the bottles were, upside down.
I seem to recall this being an issue earlier.
The court and this case demand an explanation. I can think of only one reason why one would hold a bottle upside down. And that is to hit someone with the bottom of the bottle. Well, Your Honor? See how the caught fish squirms to the last. Well, Apollo?
Yes!
Your boss seems awfully concerned about this bottle still. But I'm sure we can come up with a suitable explanation, just like that.
Yeah. Just like what? Why would anyone grab a bottle upside down other than to...
Don't let him trick you into thinking his explanation is the only legitimate one.
Is there really another?
Taking a look at the court record, I believe you'll find a simple answer there, in plain sight. It's the badge.
Can you zoom in on the label? No. That's fine. One of the pictures, perhaps? How about you just say the answer in plain words?
It would be hasty to deliver a verdict with unanswered questions indeed. Well, Mr. Justice.
Mr. Gavin said that the court and this case demand an explanation. Don't worry. Justice won't leave until justice is done.
Perhaps the defense would care to enlighten the court. What evidence do you have to explain the fingerprints on the bottle and upside down?
He'd have to grab them out of the crate.
I
like
know,
that.
right?
Yeah, send that one. I feel good about it. Because he'd have to grab it out of the crate. Yeah.
But I think it's also like this hidden card. I think that was like a different bottle that killed them. Like we can send that one.
Yeah. I think that bottle is not the deadly bottle. That's a bottle that's like
Planted.
Yeah, a plant bottle. So I wouldn't want to send it. I would send the picture where it's like he has to grab them out of the basket.
I don't know which hand Nick used, but if you were to no, I guess you'd still.
Does it say if he's right or left-handed?
Is there a handle on that bottle?
I feel that picture is good, man. I feel it.
Take that!
It's actually easier to show you than explain, Your Honor. place that bottle on the floor next to your chair.
Excuse me, on the floor.
Yeah. Now reach down and pick it up without getting out of your chair.
Ah!
See? You naturally go to pick up the bottle by its neck. With your fingers upside down. Look at this photograph, taken on the night of the murder. The defendant, Mr. Wright, sat here, playing piano, bottles of grape juice on the floor to the side of his piano bench. He would have naturally picked up the bottles upside down several times.
Wow, I can't believe it was that simple. Recall our dinner that evening, Christoph. I was drinking my usual juice then, too.
Basically, you used the bottle on the table to do the deed, but then you must have remembered. So you went and picked up one of the bottles from under the piano, and you switched the bottles. You took one of Mr. Wright's bottles and made it look like the murder weapon.
Order! 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 What do you have to say to these charges, Mr. Gavin?
Fascinating. So this is the legendary attorney's famed tactic of misdirection.
What?
You claim that I switched the bottle. Where's your proof?
Proof? Well, that's,
As I thought, more baseless conjecture. I'm afraid your bottle of proof is quite empty.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Your Honor, when you initiated the investigation of the hideout earlier, did you recall I requested an additional investigation?
Ah, yes. I have your memo about that here. Retrieve the bottles from under the piano at the Borscht Club. And here's one of the bottles in question.
What are you going to do? Dust that for fingerprints too? I would be surprised if any were on that. But his.
Mr. Gavin probably wouldn't make such a novice mistake, true. That bottle won't bear a trace of anything.
Say, Apollo,
Yes?
why don't you go ahead and examine that bottle?
But why?
Just humor me.
Mr. Wright?
That bottle will solve this case once and for all.
What? That's some bottle.
Enhance. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Examination.
There's something inside the bottle. Wait. What's this?
Your card? That card! It can't be!
Recall that unpleasant woman's testimony for a moment.
Miss Olga O'Reilly?
Yes, our little swindling Devochka.
Devochka.
That night I planted the card like I was supposed to, and Wright lost the hand like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him, but the planted card was gone. The trap failed.
Wait, this isn't... You're telling me that this is the planted card you disposed of? The one you mentioned in this piece of your testimony?
I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something like this might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game.
Disposed? Where?
There was an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle.
The 5 of...
The 5 of hearts. This is the card. The bottles were swapped, and the only one who could have done that was the 4th person in the club that night. You, Christoph Gavin.
Oh.
Oh! Oh! Wow! Who's also holds psychic powers within him? That is all.
Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright?
Revenge?
Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago?
My past is like my logic, straight and true. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction.
Fine. I'm glad we could have this little tat-tat.
Tit-tit-tit.
Tit-tat, tit-tat. I feel like I've heard that before, but I can't pronounce it right now in my head.
I'm glad we had this little tat-tat.
I think it's tit-tit.
Tit-tat. I don't know. Right. Tit-tat-too.
This is insane! What about me? Don't I get to prosecute anyone?
Shut up, Payne. Tit-tat. Tay-a-tay. Tit-tat.
Tit-tit.
I believe this time we finally come to the end of our trial. Mr. Payne, do you have a report for us on Christoph Gavin?
He's admitted everything. We're processing his arrest now.
I see. Still, one has to wonder why he would do such a thing. He didn't even have a connection to the victim, did he?
None that we know of.
Mr. Wright, do you have anything to add?
I'm afraid I can't shed any more light on the matter.
About this victim, Mr. Shoddy Smith. His occupation was listed as traveler. An odd profession to be sure. That's all we know about him.
I'll arrange a follow-up investigation, Your Honor.
Good. Mr. Wright,
Yes?
7 years. You still haven't lost your touch.
Christoph Gavin was a man with much significance for me, both as a friend and a lawyer.
He was extremely talented, to be sure.
I needed two things before I could confront him. First was a place where no injustice would be tolerated, this courtroom. The second was a man who would tolerate no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo.
Me?
This is a dark time for our legal system. A twisting of justice brought on by our very own initial trial system. We have to set it right.
Mr. Wright.
Our work lies ahead of us, and I, for one, am looking forward to it.
Oh, what a champ.
Well, this seems like a good time to announce the verdict. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright,
Not guilty. Hit it, Gumshoe.
Yay!
Court is adjourned.
Yay, we did it.
Thanks, Apollo. You came through just like I thought you would.
I'm pretty sure I didn't do a thing in there. It was you who cornered the killer.
The killer. I couldn't have done it by myself. You sensed it too today, didn't you? Your ability.
Ability?
Yes, a sensitivity I lack. You'll come to understand it soon enough.
Wait, I wonder if he means... I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is that true?
Of course it's true.
What's this weird vibe I'm getting?
But Phoenix is like a super professional poker player, so you figured he would have learned it by now.
Right? People's tells?
I know, right? Unless that's all a lie.
What was that, Mr. Wright?
You'll have to find the answer to that question yourself.
The answer. Right. Today was just full of questions without answers. Most of them about Mr. Gavin.
Man, I love his toque so much.
It's very good, Papa.
Papa. What possible reason could... That was fucking weird. Something was beside me. What possible reason could he have had to commit murder? Perhaps you'll learn that in some of the days to come.
Huh? Wait. You don't know, do you?
This locket is the key. Yeah, I guess it's been a long time since I saved. No.
Huh? Oh, that reminds me. I met the girl whose picture is in your locket.
I need a name. Give me a name, Phoenix.
Your daughter, right?
That's right. She's my daughter.
Espella.
You know, you were right about this locket. Okay, she can't be like any older than 7 years old. Like, she maybe couldn't even be 6.
Well, we're gonna find out. Eh?
Unless she adopted her.
It's possible.
I took this off his neck the night he died. But it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. So the truth is, this locket really did belong to him.
Wait, but that's perjury! You testified! You said that locket was yours!
I said no such thing, actually.
Huh?
I merely said that it was a locket with my daughter's picture inside. A subtle distinction, but a distinction nonetheless. And that's the truth.
Wait, but then why? Why was the victim wearing a locket with a picture of your daughter inside it?
Sometimes the straightest path to the truth isn't the best one. Give it time. You're still just getting started with your career.
Speaking of which, I may be out of a job. I work for Gavin Law Offices after all. I still can't believe I just saw Mr. Gavin get led away in handcuffs.
Apollo,
Yeah? Yes?
how about coming to work for me? Oh, it's happening! Woo! I thought maybe when he said like we're gonna uproot the legal system and I'm looking forward to it. I was like, yeah, he's coming back. He's back in the game.
Eh? You mean at the Wright & Co. law offices? I mean, there's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't know about it.
I can't imagine that to be true, but
Wait, but didn't you... You're not a...
oh, I turned in my badge, yes. I'm not an attorney anymore.
That incident 7 years ago.
Oh God.
That legendary trial. And at the middle of it all was one man, Phoenix Wright.
This is so compelling, I love this.
The case reached its sad conclusion, and he left law for good.
Damn it, no!
What?
Come on! You were just about to tell us about the incident! Stop teasing us like this! God damn it! The incident. Ah, such a trope.
Have you ever thought about coming back to the courts?
I'm not qualified to stand in a court of law, I'm afraid. Didn't you notice in today's trial? There was a single piece of forged evidence.
Forged evidence? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty magician's trick.
One piece of evidence struck me as odd, it's true. It just seemed, well, too perfect. I'll bet this was the forged evidence. The card
But
with the blood.
It's gotta be the card with the blood.
Yeah, it has to be.
I wouldn't want to get it wrong, but I don't think it'll let me get it wrong.
I think it would let you get it wrong. Remember when it was like Larry Butson's like, nah, she loved you, man. Here, look at this document about the death of your girlfriend.
All right, is this right?
That's asking
It's the
chat
bloodiest,
directly?
Yeah. Okay.
You mean this, don't you? I got this from your daughter, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, that card couldn't have been found at the crime scene. Why? Because the killer took it with him when he left, leaving the wrong card in its place. Luckily for us. The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud. A fraud? How can you be so sure? I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer. My verdict was already handed down 7 years ago.
Then, you really...
Yeah, I forged this card. One look at the crime scene should have told you it wasn't real.
But you can't do something like that and call yourself an attorney.
Who's calling themselves an attorney, Apollo?
He's gone rogue. He's catching
damn.
bad guys with forged evidence.
Do you think the Yatagarasu?
Oh,
Do you think it's real? Do you think it'll all tie in now? Ooh. Woo! What a wild ride.
So it's true. The rumor is true. 7 years ago.
None of that matters much now, does it?
Ah. Ah. I punched him.
It's your story from here on out, Apollo. Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. My office's address. Drop in if you like.
Mr. Wright.
Oh, about your uppercut. Try yelling, "Take that," next time. I find it packs a little more punch. And Apollo, thanks for today. I had a good time. Oh, he punched Daddy. He punched Daddy right.
I'm the papa now. And with that, Mr. Wright walked out the door. And that's how my first trial ended. A lot of mysteries went unsolved. And at the time, I had no idea they were all related. Every mystery that day, connected by a single thread of logic. I'd find out about that soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, attorney at law, and this is how my story begins.
The end.
We gotta
Damn.
have a next case preview so I can make a thumbnail.
Ooh, turnabout Trump. Turnabout corner. Oh, I hope it's go-karts. I don't know what else. What else do you think of for corner? Tease the next case. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
I gotta make a thumbnail.
Bikes. As long as we draw breath, the wheel of fate turns.
Oh, it is race cars. Oh, wait, maybe not race cars. Uh-oh. Whoa!
Oh no.
What's happening?
I don't know, man.
I guess Leighton took the Curious Village and packed it up.
And when the wheel stops.
Wow. 3D. Oh, no!
Oh no.
Kind of looked a little like Larry.
I know.
You die.
That's what I saw his pompadour and
I
I was
know.
like, oh no!
Strange 3D modeling, though.
Oh,
Dum dum dum
no.
dum. Choppy 3DS videos.
Look at the budget.
Hey, Tasso! What up?
Congrats on finishing the first case. This
Thanks.
is pretty much hands down my fave first case ever. So many twists
Pretty
and turns
good.
in this case, and Hobo Phoenix is seriously my fave here.
Yeah, they got me.
So many unanswered questions, and the plot thickens. Anyways, great job, guys.
Yeah, I think I like the direction of the story. It's very good. It's
Oh, sorry.
it's compelling. Hey, Monobro!
Now you see why Apollo is best boy. Accuses his own boss of murder without batting an eye, and decks Phoenix after learning he betrayed the law.
I don't know. I'm more in love with Phoenix at this point.
His fist is the hammer of justice.
Hammer of justice.
Yeah, Mr. Sony Song, we're working on it.
Mr.
Hey!
Mahazi! Welcome to Apollo Justice, boys. Hope you're ready for this.
Am I ready?
Are you ready?
Am I ready for this?
I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, no, I really like the direction of the story. I really like that first case. It was awesome. Some of the first cases have been like a little dry. But no, that was pretty good. It was pretty good. A lot of twists and turns, and they really teased that incident.
I know. Talk about turning red things to blue.
I know, right?
Right?
Oof. Yeah. And she was in that thing. It's interesting. I'm interested. There's so many questions, which I like. So many questions and so many unanswered little things teased. I think it's going to be a really great game. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I hope you guys are looking forward to it. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Ah, man. So that means tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow it continues. And then, yeah, we're playing last day of Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah, today's is, and then we're
3:30
taking.
PM.
I guess it'd be 3 days
Yeah.
because we're starting back up on Monday at 3:30.
Yeah. It's good.
And
Good.
tonight's date night for us, for you members out there. We're gonna be playing for real this time. Sly Cooper 2,
Oh, yeah. Probably.
probably.
Barring a lightning strike. Or anything like that. But yeah. It's been a good
Oh,
time.
Stream Boss.
Oh, Stream Boss.
Well, say stuff and then I'll make the thing happen.
Big rip to the Stream Boss. Both Apollos are good. Good. They've all been good games.
The characters are really good so far. I'm excited to
Yeah,
see who our
it's a compelling
main
story.
prosecutor is going to be. I don't think
Right,
it's gonna
I
be Winston
know.
the whole time.
Oh, that's the other thing too. Sorry, is that that's what I wanted to say. Is that being this far in the future, there are so many unanswered questions as to like what Larry's been up to. Like what in God's
What
name is
has
Larry
he been
up
up
to? Like
to?
he could be up to anything.
Is he
Like,
still a painter?
What happened to Edgeworth? What does Edgeworth think of the
Yeah.
incident? Is Gumshoe still a poor detective? He
Yeah.
can't be. Is he the chief of detectives? I don't know.
Maybe-
Is he off the force?
He probably is still exactly the same.
Probably
Like,
wearing the same jacket.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope they give him a few grays. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe a little more of a gruff
Oh, a
detective.
little salt and pepper.
Yeah, a little salt and pepper. What's Kay up to? Is
Yeah.
she gonna be around?
And Maya.
I don't know.
And
So many great
Pearls.
characters. Oh
Pearls
yeah. What
is
what
old now.
Maya and Pearl's up to?
Pearls is 16 now.
Yeah.
And that
It's
means
crazy.
that Maya's quite old. Ooh, oh my god, yeah, we left Maya and she was at like a crux in her life where she's like, do I want to be a spirit medium or do I want to be an attorney?
Oh yeah. Attorney,
happened?
spirit medium at law. Anyways, it's good. It's good. I like this. It's much better than kind of like continuing a linear story, I believe.
Yeah.
Apollo came up with 4 investigations. Fuck.
Well, Rip Yatagarasu and Rip K.
That's weird. K didn't exist in 2007. God
Yeah,
damn
that
it.
makes sense. The game was on original DS and then the other one was on also original DS or was that 3DS? I can't remember. Anyways. Well, I guess that's the end of the stream.
Yep. Sad.
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 But it's not too sad because we'll be back in about an hour.
Okay.
Nut.
Bye.
Bye, I love you!
Why aren't you guys playing the 3D models version? I don't.
That's an option?
That's an option. This was in the eShop.
Yeah, this was in the eShop.
Yep.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
I love you. Be good.